G'day guys, today on this video I'm going to be working on my 4J Patrol. I've got a lot of wiring to tidy up. Now I've got the conversion running and I'm pretty happy the way it's running, and I found a few issues, and now I'm just at the stage where I want to clean it up, make it easy to work on and just make it look a bit more presentable. So what I'm going to do, the plan is I've got a few light relays like down here, another one on the firewall. I'm going to relocate to the factory relay box, so this looks a bit neater. It's all undercover and all that. Then there's a breaker I'm going to relocate, and just got a lot of just random wires. I just want to run a bit of cable management. So that's the job for today. So wish me luck. My favourite, wiring. Alright, so these I'm going to chuck into here. So First of all, remove the cover. So I've got a lot of free space in there. So just trying to work out. Yeah, that shouldn't have to change any of the wires around, but we'll see how we go. All right. I'm up to the stage now. I've got all the relays relocated into the factory box. Now I just have to sort out this mess. So I'm still trying to work out the best way to route everything. I just want to clean up a bit of this stuff over here too. That's a bit cluttered. So yeah, see how we go, eh? Okay, now I've got all that wiring and relays, all that hidden, finished up there. Looks a lot neater. I'm gonna start working on doing these fuel lines and cleaning up all the mess over the back here. Then I'll work my way over that side and finish that side off too. So what I've done is there was a bracket, it was mounted this one, it had all the fuel lines things. I've mounted up to a stud that was up here now. That's pulled everything out the way, cleared in the cooler because this aircon hose here was actually rubbing a little bit. So now I'll make another bracket to go onto that little stud up there, pick everything up that little bit, give it a bit more clearance. And then once I get over to the other side there, you can see it's a bit tight. I'll work out something there to get there. But the next job is to make a bracket to mount onto that and mount the fuel line and pull that AC line and everything up. And also I do have a hard vacuum line there, that did go to the clutch booster, which I'll have going to delete the boost eventually, but for now I do not need that, as it makes the clutch way too light and do not need it. So I'll get rid of that too, just create more room, the better. This video I cleaned up the fuel lines, so I moved the factory bracket up to the hole above it where the stud was, made a little bracket just there. I'll come a bit closer so you can see. Made a little bracket there, used some P-clamps to mount the fuel lines, and also deleted the vacuum line from underneath for the clutch booster because I do not need that in this setup, and also move the AC line up because I did notice it was rubbing on the back of the intercooler on both sides. So that's tucked out the way. And also, so today I'm going to slowly move my way around the car. So this side today, I'm going to this power steering reservoir here. I've just got a hose clamp to this bracket that's in the factory Patrol, but I've managed to get myself the bracket from the RC Colorado. So I'm going to use that, mount it to the body of the car, and then mount that to that so I can get rid of this hose clamp because I'm just ugly and I don't like it. Plus then I've got the ECU right here. There you go. ECU right here. I've made one bracket up here, and I'm going to make another one up to go from here to there, because it's sturdy, but it can be a little bit more sturdy. It is bolted down on down the bottom here as well, but I'll do that today. I don't know if you can see from here, but if I zoom in, you might be able to see. Right, they've got the heater hoses run down there, then they go down behind the engine, and one of them is just rubbing on the engine block, and it's quite a sharp edge. So I've managed to put a bit of wrap around it for now, but my thoughts are I've found a joiner. I'm going to cut it, extend the hose, and lower it down so it's got a bit, so it's away from the engine block, and that should be all right for now. Eventually, I do want to convert it to an AN, those to AN lines. I do have everything to do it, but access to where they come out of the engine at the back of the head there is, yeah, there's no room to get there. So I will have to try and work a way to do that. But for now, this will be a temporary permanent fix. So that's what my job is for today. I'm going to start while the engine's a bit warm. I have been driving today, so I'll wait for it to cool down before I touch the coolant lines. But for now, I'll start doing the power steering bracket. I'll show you guys how to do that. It's pretty straightforward, yeah. And then I'll probably end up making the next bracket of this. I'll pull this bracket off, give it a clean up, give it paint to make it look a bit more presentable. Because it's not bad the way it is, but you know, why not make it look pretty? And then that should be another day's done on it, hopefully. Just try to get everything a bit more neater and just reliable without going overboard. And it's not a show car, it's daily, but I want it nothing to be rubbing and a bit more serviceable and a bit cleaner looking. So that's the goal for today. So yeah, sweet. So this is the bracket I'll be using. It's from Colorado. So we'll see how it fits in there. It shouldn't be too hard to make fit. Might have to make a little spacer up for the back of this, but we'll see how we go. I might just have to bend the front tabs and whatnot. First things first, I'll just remove this hose clamp so I can see what I'm working with. Leaving that tight. Did the job. How do I get in there? Get out of here. Alright, move that away for now. Nice, the lid was on tight. Yeah. Yeah, I see. So that bracket. So it has to clip for the reservoirs on that side, so it has to face like that. Oh, yeah. Actually, not terrible. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to do a bit of those front two legs are near on perfect and just drill straight through and bolt them, but this back leg, oh, that one leg I might have to bend a little bit because it drops off a bit. But yeah, definitely that back leg I'm going to have to build a spacer for. Actually, let's use my adjustable hammer. How much we'll need. Let's go that way. See if I can do this out with vice. Oh, it's pretty solid. Ooh, tiny bit more. Tiny bit more. Ooh, that could be good. Oh, that's just about. Maybe give it a bit more of a tweak. Oh, perfect. So I've got two options here. I can either just drill and bolt through or riven up. I think I'll use bolts. Pretty easy to get to the backside of it. It's in wheel arch. Might just do that because my riven up gun is a bit average and I should really get another one. But that will do. So now I have to work out what size spacer I need to put this back one. Alright, I'll measure for this spacer and then see what I've got lying around. Obviously I'm not going to buy anything for it. I'll make it out of junk I've got and go from there. Okay, have a look here. That's flat like that. That's there. Awesome tape measure this one, but it'll do. So it's about a 25mm, yeah, 25mm spacer. Alright, let's go digging through my trash and see what I've got. I found a bit of rubber, bit of a stopper or something. It's pretty hard rubber anyway. Drilled a hole through it, insert a bit of an aluminium sleeve into it so it doesn't go the way through, but it's going to be good. Perfect size spacer, so that's what I mean. There's down bits and pieces lying around and it turns out to be a pretty good little spacer, if I don't say so myself. Good drill bit. Oh, that's I really need to get a new chuck for this drill. It's worn out. Good old Patrol, eh? There we go. Now this one's going to be easy to get the drill into there. Drill's not going to want to go in there, is it? Alright, got my drill bit extension. And I've also bolted the bracket in. Give us a bit better marks, but they didn't mark it very well. Give it more power. Oh, beautiful. Alright, now I've got the holes drilled. I'll tighten these bolts up. I need to find a long 10mm bolt for that back one because that's spacer. And yeah, that'll be done. I'll move on to the next project. Right. And under there. Oh, look at that. Whoa, perfect. Just like it should be for the factory. So now let's see how this fits back in there. Oh, look at that. I'll bring that out of the way a bit. Touching, but there we go. Oh, magic. That's absolutely perfect. Alright, next project. Let's do this mount. Yeah, we'll do this mount. This one here to there. So I'll have to find some cardboard, make a bit of a CAD design. Try and make it look a bit pretty. I might go just bend up, bend down, and mount it to the front of this bolt like I did this one. Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now my CAD, thinking if I just bend this way, something like that. And bend that down, something like that. That looks quite good. Offset the hole a little bit so it's there. So that's that there. I'll go down like a front on that one. So, my primary school art teacher could see me now, she'd be proud, I reckon. That's what that looks like. Pretty close, because I can always pull back a bit and put a bit of tension on that, so it's not bad. Yep, perfect. Alright, I'm happy with that. So I've got some aluminium I'll transfer this over to and go from there. Okay, I've got my bit of scrap aluminium here. I'll trace my template onto it. Make sure you'll make this hole too. Alright, where's the texture there? Once I get it cut out, I'll clean it up on the sander. Just for now, get a rough outline. I know what I need to cut out. Don't need bad text in this one. Done. I'll scratch it in. Okay, there. Where's my punch over there? Perfect. Alright, I'll go cut this out. You don't need to see me. Don't need to see me cut it. It's just gonna make a lot of noise and be boring. So I'll go cut it out, and I'll get back to you once it's all done. Alright, got my piece cut out. I'm just gonna get on the belt sander and give it a bit of clean up and the edges because it's a bit rough. Beautiful. Just one little dip in there, let's get the hammer and knock it out and go from there. bracket, my template, sorry. I'll mark the bends on this again, then I'll go along and mark the holes afterwards. I won't mark the holes, but I'll mark them again because I've kind of scrubbed them off. Perfect. So that's it, that bit there. Need to drill the holes. I'll make sure it fits, then I'll give it a bit of clean up and give it a bit of spray with the paint, make it look pretty. But that's pretty much it. Doesn't need to be overcomplicated. Alright, now onto the most important job. The car's cooled down enough now, so it shouldn't be too bad. Is to tackle this one heater hose line. The bottom one is completely fine. I'll zoom in and try and show you what I'm talking about. If you look just in there, yeah, you can see it quite well there. That inside heater hose is just hitting the block. So it's eventually going to rub through, and that is the last thing you want to do, because that is pretty much guaranteed to be a tow truck home. Yeah, right there. You can see just behind that where the dipstick bracket is. So what I'm going to do is cut that line, and extend it and push it down so it goes down below and just above the starter motor. I've got some other heater hose and a joiner. So that should be a thing, but I'll show you a few tips and tricks so you don't lose all your coolant. Okay, in the past I've used these. I will be using this on the bottom one, but for these ones so don't leak, I used to use these clamps. They work alright, but they're nothing great. So let's go on, lock into position, you slide it up. They're okay, they're not perfect, they're still going to leak, but what I do now, a better idea, get yourself some of these little needle nose vice grips, 2 long sockets, put it together, put it in there, just out a bit, and boom, clamped. That will work 10 times better than that plastic clamp's going to do, and it's not going to damage the hose. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got another one of these. I'm going to set them both up. One on the old line and one on the new line I'm going to put on. So then once I put the new line on, it's not going to leak everywhere. Just the only time it's going to leak is when I pull the old one off. And it's going to leak a bit out the top, but that's why I'm going to clamp this one too, to prevent a flow of coolant coming out. So yeah, that'll be the next step. I'll get this all set up, ready to go. I'm just about ready. I am ready to remove that top hose. Just get my Phillips and do that clamp, and then we'll see how we go from there, eh? Probably a good view of my back of my head, but you know, car stuff. Right, that one's tight, that's on there. So now, just got to get that hose on the other side of that one. Give a bit of a snip and join onto this one where I think it needs to go. And that'll be actually mission accomplished without
losing a whole heap of coolant. Just trying to get this one onto this side now. It's going to be the tricky part. Without looking at, because I've got that clamp on there. You see? Perfect. I could almost. I'll run it actually like that without cutting it. That would be absolutely perfect. That bottom one is where now? That bottom one's miles out the way. Yep, perfect. Alright, what I'm actually going to do, I'm not even going to bother trimming that. I'm going to join them together. So it's got a nice little bend in it. And chuck it on like that, and that should be pretty good. Like so, and that should be, oh, that's awesome. That's absolutely perfect. I'm very, very happy with that. There's no kinks or anything in there. That will affect coolant flow at all. So you just do this up, and barely spill any coolant. Now I'm nearly done, so I need to double check that top one. I've got that tight enough. And that little mod. Yeah, I'll get that later. Perfect. Very happy with that, actually. Very happy with where that's run now. That's. Pull that down a bit more. Be absolutely. I don't think that's actually touching the engine at all now. Oh, that's awesome. Very happy with that. Alright, I'll double check that top clamp, got that tight enough. Might try and get a socket onto that. Get on top, but that's pretty much it for that coolant line. That's awesome. Very happy with that. Yeah, that's one thing I was actually really worried about. Alright, so now I'll put that clamp probably about there, that factory clamp, keep them together from so they don't flop around, and it'll be good as gold. On. There we go, perfect. I was actually quite stressed about that even when I first put it in. Really, I should have, hindsight being 2020, I should have hammered in that firewall a bit more around the bell housing, create a bit more room, because it is very tight. I had to actually, after I got engine input starter and realised the starter was touching, so I had to that wasn't easy. Make some more room there, but yeah, if you're ever going to do this conversion or any conversion, while you're there, man, while you're there, hammer out that trans tunnel firewall a bit more. Just give yourself a bit more room, because honestly, if I'd done that, I wouldn't have had to do any of this stuff. And there's a lot of, even with the exhaust on the other side, the dump pipe was very tight, and I should have done a bit of clearance in there too. Lucky enough, I got a custom dump pipe made that made it work. But yeah, oh, I'm stoked with that. I just need to tighten that top line, and then I'm done, I think. Yep. Brackets. I'll put these brackets in and show you the finished product there. But for the next video, I'll make that a different one, because that'll be a bit more techie and wiring sort of side stuff. I'll install the digital pressure sensor and then wire it into the dash. That'll be the next video. Alright, cool. I'll get these brackets, install them, and show you how that looks. Oh, I'm stoked with that. That is perfect. That's going nowhere. That's taking all that flop out of it. Awesome. Alright. Tighten that Allen key up and I'll be done. That is absolutely perfect. Love it. That was actually quite a good day. Fixed the coolant hose, mounted this power steering bracket, and made another little bracket for this and cleaned these up. Just remembered while I'm here, I did delete the vacuum line from the clutch the other day, and I left a little bit here because I didn't have the right plug, so I'll put the plug on it now. It's a good tip for you. If you want a good way to get these clamps off, circlip pliers make it really easy. Get in there, get it squeezed, pull it off, boom, easy as that. Right, now get this line off, get the vacuum cap on there. Alright, where'd I put that vacuum cap now? It's always good to have some of these vacuum caps around because they're handy too if you ever have a coolant leak or anything and you need to block it off, or a vacuum leak or anything. So have some of these in your tool bag you take with you everywhere. Very, very handy. Most parts stores have it anyway. Chuck that on there. In theory, you don't need to clamp it, but I'm still going to put the clamp on that. You never know, because it's a vacuum, so it's going to suck it on. It's never going to blow off it. But still, always put. So it's quite simple. Circlip pliers onto the clamp. Boom, easy as that. Done. Look at that. Professional. Almost looks like I know what I'm doing.
Been a productive couple of days. I've managed to get all the relays put into the relay box and off the firewall and around everywhere. Cleaned a lot of the wiring up on this side. Cleaned the back firewall up. Got the fuel lines up. Nice and neat, looking good. And over this side, managed to get, big job, the heater hose relocated so it won't pinch and leak everywhere. Power steering done. ECU brackets made and done, painted, looking all schmicko. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with our work it got done. So on the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to install a oil pressure gauge and how to wire it up and put it into a Haltech IC7 dash. So that'd be a fun little job. So yeah, thanks for watching and hope I see you again.